Well, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Josh Schimmels, the publisher and CEO of the Los Angeles Business Journal. It's an honor to host today's Best Places to Work Awards, now in its 15th year. Well, we all wish we could be at a great venue celebrating in person. We do have another opportunity to tune in from our homes, offices, or for some lucky few from vacation rentals. But we're all here to learn from companies who've really shined over the past year. Today, we honor the very best places to work in Los Angeles. We recognize them for their excellence and for setting the bar high for what great experiences can be with the right effort, the right leadership, and the right innovations. Now, more than ever, companies are having to be more thoughtful, more creative, and more purposeful about the ways that they engage their employees. We've seen so many innovations, we've seen so many best practices that have been established over the last 18 months that we can learn from. Out of the nearly 250,000 businesses here in LA County, the companies we're unveiling today represent the top 100, the very best of the best. So if you made the list, congratulations, you are already in amazing company. Let me tell you how today's going to break down. We decided to start with a 30-minute panel discussion. We've invited last year's #1 companies in each of the 3 categories, small, medium, and large businesses, to join us. This is a chance to learn about, as I mentioned, best practices that are making workplaces even better today. They'll be discussing culture, diversity, equity, inclusion, new company initiatives, how they're addressing the pandemic, and what new innovations in both culture management and creation have been generated over the last year and a half. After the short panel, we'll go right into the rankings of the top 100 companies. We've split the list up again into 3 categories based on company size: small, medium, and again, large. I want to thank those of you who submitted questions to our panel during the registration process, because it actually helped us to shape the conversation and the content that you're going to hear. I also wanted to mention that during the interactive discussions, you're going to see audience poll questions pop up on your screen. We encourage you to participate, share your experiences with us, so that we can then publish and share these results online with the business community next week. I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors for their continued support of this event, and of course, Workplace Excellence. So special thanks to our partner and diamond sponsor, Marsha McLennan Insurance Agency. Thank you to our 4 gold sponsors, DBS Bank, Dermavant, Montage Insurance Solutions, and Parker Brown. Thank you for all that you do to support this program and, of course, our community of business. All right, well, we're going to get started. I'd like to introduce today's panel. So, as I mentioned earlier, they are representing all 3 of our #1 companies from last year's Best Places to Work program. Please welcome Amanda Bialek, President, Connect Agency; Tanya Suku, Partner, Healthcare and Life Sciences with West Monroe; Joshua White, SVP of Strategic Growth at BAMCO; and our moderator and diamond sponsor, Brian Hegarty, Principal Managing Director for Los Angeles Employee Benefits Division, Marsha McLennan Insurance Agency. Brian, welcome back. It's great to have a part of this.
Thanks, Josh. Glad to be back. So I figure we might as well just dive right in. So one, it's great to see all of you again, Amanda, Tanya, and Josh. Unfortunately, like Josh said, little did we know that we were going to be doing this virtually again. Amanda, I think I'll just dive in with you. All the companies that we're talking about that you represent were best places to work last year, and #1 at that. You excel at building and maintaining a strong company culture, even through tough times, which have now come into 2021, which we didn't all expect. How have you launched any new initiatives that support the company culture in this remote hybrid environment that we're in? Anything changed since last year?
Yeah, a lot has changed since last year. Obviously, really great perks and benefits that we've always offered. Things like gym reimbursements aren't as valuable when gyms are closed. So I think for us, we've always been, we've always put culture paramount, and for us, how we define a great culture is by making sure our employees are seen and heard. So we have a lot of listening tools that allow our colleagues to have an open forum to, share what's on their mind, suggestions for helping improve the agency overall. We keep in close contact with our teams with biweekly all staff calls, just to keep everyone really closely connected and transparent in terms of changes within the agency and new perks and benefits that are coming on. And really, it's just making sure that they know that they have us as a resource to talk about real things like Zoom fatigue and how do we push through that? How do we still provide great service to the brands that we represent? How do we continue to innovate? So really, for us, we've leaned on the strong foundation of culture that we've built to carry us through these times when the kind of more fun side of the business of things like in-office massage and gym are going by the wayside as we're increasingly working from home here and moving into a hybrid work approach.
Yeah, hopefully there's an end in sight here. Josh, what's going on at BAMCO? Anything new? Or that you're, I mean, I know there's tons of stuff new, but after last year, is there anything that you guys have implemented or emphasized due to now this continued environment that we're in?
Yeah, I think the thing that we do exceptionally well at BAMCO is we're deeply authentic. And so I think what we've done since last year is more of being us, right? I think one of the sort of unappreciated benefits of being at home and being on Zoom is we get to show each other a little bit more of ourselves. Like everyone in our company knows my dog Buddy now, and everyone knows about each other's kids and families and just the hecticness of their lives. And I think we've always been a very informal, very authentic place, and I think we've just leaned into that. And it's like, okay, let's be regular human beings, connect on a human level. And we've been more intentional about that than ever before because the opportunities presented to us to be real human beings who connect to people like other real human beings, which I think is in real short supply in this world. I think it's become very abundant. And so, are we doing initiatives? Are we doing, at home events? Yeah, for sure. But I think the thing that, that's really different is you're seeing more of us with the least layers of artifice than ever before. And I think the more we just connect as human beings, the more we show each other who we truly are and can connect in that way, the more sort of bound people feel to one another. And I think that's what we've done really well, and that's really what we're going to continue to do.
Right. Tanya, I mean, it's interesting here. We have three very, I think, distinctly different companies. Tanya, at West Monroe, fast forward from 2020 to 2021, is there anything that you're doing differently that maybe wasn't in place last year to retain that culture that you guys have done so well?
Absolutely. And first of all, I just echo Josh's sentiments around being sort of authentic and really bringing yourself to the work. I think that's absolutely been something that West Monroe has done really well in this past year. As you probably know, we're a consulting firm and we're national, not only have a presence here in Los Angeles, but also nationally. And this shift has actually been an opportunity for the firm to really take that step back and really think about, like, how do we work and what's the best way for us to collaborate and still build that culture. And so we've taken that step back to maybe revisit some of the norms that had traditionally been in place here at West Monroe, and we are opening up the door for some flexibility from a travel perspective with our employees, which has been a great benefit so that folks can really flex for their week and really think about the flexibility they need based on their work and their life, and really work on making that work for everybody. So I actually do think that while it was an unexpected change, it's been a great opportunity for the firm to take that step back and really think about what people need and try to give the people first company the opportunities and the experiences that they need so that they can make this type of job work for them.
Great. I think the one thing, and to pivot to our next question, I think the one thing that I'm hearing with my clients, which is number one top of mind right now, as you talk about your total reward strategy that's supporting that culture, is mental health is number one. What are we doing about it? How can we expand it? How can we support our employees, with this challenging environment? Josh, I'll start with you. The old school way of thinking, employee assistance programs, stuff like that. I mean, they're up. The utilization's up 400, 500%. Are you guys doing anything specifically to address mental health at BAMCO?
Yeah, I mean, we've offered just a ton more resources than we've ever had before. We brought people in to do, counseling sessions and coaching, and bring in the professionals in to try to have those conversations and facilitate the journey towards better mental health that I think we can all benefit from. And at the same time, I think it comes down to sort of rolling up your sleeves and doing a bit of elbow grease and reaching out to people, because the folks who I think need the most connection are the ones who kind of make the least amount of noise, right? It's sort of like the dog that doesn't bark. If you don't hear it, you don't know that there's necessarily something wrong there. And so, I think our management team has done an admirable job of genuinely caring about people and making it a priority to reach out to people. If you haven't heard from them in a while, you don't know exactly what's going on, how they're doing, and just reaching out and again, just being a normal human being, be like, how's it going? How's your pandemic treating you? Like, what's happening in your life? And having those conversations like you would a friend that you care about, in a world where, look, it's been a weird year and a half now, right? I think we're all longing for a little bit of social connection, and it's become harder for a lot of people who've gotten less of that than ever before. And so we try to be as intentional as possible about not just giving people resources, but really caring and reaching out and generating those conversations and giving people an opportunity to speak and to be heard and to have someone to talk to without judgment. And I think a lot of that starts with vulnerability. So if I call someone up and say, like, how you doing? And one of the first things I try to tell them is like, here's what I'm struggling with today. And any given week, there's something I'm struggling with. So we try to be as open and transparent and authentic with people as we possibly can. And that starts with vulnerability.
Yeah, I don't think really, I think with this environment, a survey doesn't really give you a pulse on what's going on. And I think that's what we've seen too in this environment, is supposedly everybody's thriving at this work at home, according to the surveys. But in reality, we know it's not, so we have those conversations. Tanya, anything that you guys are doing that's unique to address mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year we launched a series of employee listening sessions to really hear from our employees what are the top things that are concerning them, and to Josh's point too, right? Folks are not necessarily flourishing in this environment. I think we're there's articles and things published out there around really how employees are really languishing right now. So figuring out how to give people the balance they need and let them know that there's a place there where they're being heard. So we rolled out a bunch of employee listening sessions. In addition, we've launched a couple new employee resource groups so that people know that there are places where they can be heard in the community that they're looking to feel most comfortable. And so we are definitely focused on making sure that people have not only the resources, but the places that they can go talk to from the top down, and then building upon that with actionable activities to support that.
Great. Amanda.
Yeah, I think, all of us, I think have shared that it really does start at the top, and we always try and lead with transparency. I know a lot of what we do in our all staffs is sharing, the struggles that myself, our CEO, our VP of operations might be going through, just to let our teams know that this is a safe space to be human and share when we're fatigued or feeling overwhelmed. Everyone at Connect Agency has a direct report mentor, where not only do they talk about ways for professional growth, but it's an open forum as well to talk about things they might be struggling with, and those direct reports then help provide additional resources that could be of use to the teams based on what they're going through. But I really think, Josh pointed it out, is really leading with that human touch. That even if you're at the top of the food chain, you still have those tough days. And I think in creating those points of connection and showing that we're more alike than we are different, and we have good and bad days, it allows everyone to know that not every day is going to be a home run day. And the best thing about tomorrow is that you have a chance to begin again. So we like to say mistakes are welcome, and we learn from them, and that's how we all push through and get better.
And Brian, I'll add one thing here, because Tanya sort of sparked a thought for me, which is, I think one of the things I figured out for myself last year, sort of when I was having the hardest time with lockdown and everything being pretty tough, was that my best sort of self-remedy was lifting other people up. And, if I was feeling down or blue or whatever, or disconnected, I'd reach out to someone else and try to lift them up and make their day. And I think we've, sort of increasingly given people that guidance in that direction. It's like, look, you're gonna get in ruts, like particularly, in this Groundhog's Day month 19 Delta plus variant world that we live in today, like you're going to get in some ruts, and give yourself the tools to get out of those ruts. And one of the best ways you can do it is like reach out to your colleagues, reach out to your coworkers. If you're in sales, like become friends with some of your fellow salespeople, and make their day, lift them up, encourage them, give them a kind word. And I think I think one of the things we've done so well this year is, we have more of a collaborative environment than ever before, because so many people are taking responsibility for the guy or the gal next to them. And it's been like a beautiful thing to watch unfold, the collaboration amongst our team and seeing how they're healing themselves by healing others. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, because I think it's been really freaking cool to watch.
No, I think it's that vulnerability. As leaders, you're supposed to be the rock. I think in your positions, you're leading the charge. But I think this has brought a lot of vulnerability out of all leaders. Of like, hey, we're struggling with this too. I mean, and I think that's, to all three of your points, that truly, I think, builds a bridge of being able to deal with the topic of mental health and getting through this. And thanks for reminding us, Josh, that it's been 19 months and going. So that's great. So I think one other key word or topic of conversation outside of mental health is that you continue to hear, and I think specifically over last year and going into this year, not that it's ever been not a topic of conversation, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. As leaders, how are you infusing these important, principles into your hiring practices, into your benefits programs, into your culture? I'll start with Tanya, as this is really come to the forefront of I think everything is in terms of business as a whole.
Absolutely. Well, first thing I'd say is here at West Monroe, it's a priority, but we do know we still have a way to go. So in this past year, we've launched 2 additional new employee resource groups, one for the Asian American PAN community and another for interfaith. So in addition to the existing ERGs that we already had for the Black network and a couple other areas. But in addition to doing that, the firm has really taken a very strong stance on this. And from a performance and metric perspective, leaders at the top are being held accountable. There are new metrics that we will be held responsible for to help ensure that the mix of our hiring, our recruiting, and the development of our team reflects the diversity and inclusion that we would like to see here and reflective of the workforce. So I think that that's a really important stake in the ground, and we do still have work to do, but I think it's a good direction where we know we want to go.
Amanda, as we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, what are you guys doing differently, or something that you're proud to talk about?
Yeah, I would say, Connect has always been kind of naturally diverse. Our CEO is an immigrant. The CEO of our sister company is Latin, and I think for us it's really we hire the best and we look everywhere for the best talent, and I would say that for the most part our staff and our team is really diverse, and as an agency you can always be doing more, we can always be learning more. It's really important for us to make sure that our groups are equally represented at all parts of our agency structure. And it's really important that we're, counseling our brands accordingly and making sure that, we're transparent and we're, helping them as well, evolve their DE&I practices. So we are really proud that we're able to help shepherd and shape the diversity and inclusion plans of a lot of really amazing brands out there.
Great. Josh?
Yeah, I like this conversation. I think it's an interesting one, and it's a challenging one because no one really knows how to do it right, and but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. And I think one of the things that makes BAMCO special is we are a really diverse company not just in terms of ethnicity, but in terms of culture and geography and a bunch of other stuff, right? The bulk of our workforce is actually in Southeast Asia, right? In India and China and Vietnam, and we've got a bunch of folks in Brazil. And so, we've built, sort of infused into the culture of our company is an ethos of cross-cultural, cross-ethnic, geographical collaboration and teamwork, right? And so we've created this beautiful tapestry where people come together, sort of not just in spite of, but a lot of reasons because of their sort of cultural and ethnic diversity, and created a great team. I mean, I'm not shy about saying that we are significantly better than the next, the second best competitor in our industry, right? We just had an amazing year in 2020. We grew by 83%, fastest growing top 40 distributor in our industry, now the 11th biggest company in our industry, fastest growing company over the last 6 years in our industry. We're kicking everyone's butts. And it's not a coincidence. It's because we brought together an ethos and a culture of collaboration and inclusivity and diversity, where we're bringing together the most talented people across the globe and working together and strengthening each other because of the unique perspectives and abilities and insights that sort of diverse team has. And so we're living it in practice, and we're seeing the results. We are a case study of success, where you go look at our $25 billion industry, and it's not apparent who's the second best company in our industry because Banco's that far ahead of whoever is number two. And I think it's because we are so uniquely situated in that way, where we have such a broadly diverse workforce, and it's just integrated into who we are and what we do.
Thanks. So I'm going to kind of go off of Alex gave me some questions, so I'm going to end on our last one because we've actually been really good on time. And since Josh so nicely was able to tout how well Bamco's doing, I'm going to give Tanya which is deserving, Josh. I'm just giving you a hard
Appreciate
time.
that.
I want to give Tanya a minute, and even Josh. What we look back, I mean, as Josh reminded us, 19 months, and we were here, last year, and Amanda, I'll start with you. What surprised you, from an employee standpoint, or what success were you excited about in 2021? And you can even bleed back into 2020, that really excited you about the organization that you're part of and the people that you get to, work with on a daily basis.
I would say the innovation. I've never seen our team work more collaboratively in the face of, having to be extremely flexible, creating media strategies that have to be completely scrapped the next day because of, how the news cycle has turned. So I think for us, it's allowed us to kind of, cut the fat of, meetings that, are better off as a quick roll up email, kind of, leveling the playing field and everyone becoming a little bit more informal and feeling more free to share ideas that lead to innovation. So I would say overall, our teams got smarter, faster, more nimble. That helped us be more innovative in the campaigns we're creating for brands, and really just that shared deeper sense of camaraderie and collaboration that just strengthen an already incredibly strong bond that we have with our teams coast to coast.
Dare I say jeans is the new formal once we get back to 100%. I hope so, Josh. Tanya, how about over at West Monroe?
So at West Monroe, I would say, not to echo Amanda's point, but I would say flexibility and the ability to pivot on a dime. Given that, as I mentioned earlier, West Monroe was much more focused on in-person interactions, we had to pivot and become sort of more nimble, working in a hybrid and less in-person environment. And I'm just really impressed at how well West Monroe was able to pivot, and how well our team and our company and the staff, right, the consultants who typically were used to your traveling, getting on a plane on a normal Monday through Friday, everyone was able to pivot and really still add significant value to our clients, to the point that it was really not noticeable to our clients that we had, really moved into a virtual environment. I'm just really impressed with the flexibility, the nimbleness, and the ingenuity of the team, and their ability to continue to add value, if not more than the traditional way we consulted before.
Great. Josh, I know you highlighted how well Bamco's done during the pandemic, but anything that really floats to the top that excited you, or things that you want to highlight?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the greatest takeaway from the last year and a half is the recognition of how important culture is. And not just because it's important that you like the place you work and the people you work with and you do the right thing, but in that being intentional about cultivating an incredible culture that is true to what you actually believe, what your values really are, that can dictate outcome and success. And for us, we pivoted incredibly early, and we were really resilient, right? So if you look at our core values, a lot of who we are is built on being willing to fail, right? Willing to take risks and try things and fail, and be entrepreneurial and be quick, and be urgent, and to believe, right? A lot of I remember in March of last year, we had a tough time, and we were really worried about losing people, and our executive team all took sort of voluntary pay cuts because we were worried about keeping the lights on. And very quickly, we came back to who we were. We came back to what we believed about our place in the universe and the kinds of folks we wanted to be in this world. And we said, like, heck yeah, this could be the greatest thing that's ever happened to our business. We don't know how, we don't know why, we don't know when, we don't know how the heck we're going to make it happen. But we know we're the kinds of people that can bend reality to our will, and the universe is willing to be bent to our will. And so, like, all right, let's go freaking do it. Let's go work our butts off. Let's go figure out some strategies. Let's go try some stuff. Let's go experiment. Let's go fail. Let's fall flat on our faces, dust ourselves off, and go again. And after a few months, we looked at, we're like, yeah, that thing that we believed about the nature of reality, that's true. And the thing that we were intentional about in terms of building our culture was wildly rewarding. And so that's my pleasant surprise, is like, culture matters more than you could possibly appreciate. And we saw it. We went from $108 million company to a $202 million company last year, and a lot of that's because of the way we feel and the way we believe about the world.
Right. Amanda, Tanya, Josh, thank you for being a part of the panel. And God willing, hopefully next year we'll be able to do this in person. So good luck on the upcoming awards here, as we'll be announcing them. And Josh, back to you.
Thank you so much, Brian. I want to thank all three of our panelists, Amanda, Tanya, and Josh. Such an important and interesting conversation. I think there's definitely a lot for us to take away, and for all of our viewers to take away as well. So thank you guys for sharing. All three of these panelists, have made the list again this year somewhere. And just like you, they're waiting to learn where they rank for 2021. So without further ado, it's time to announce the rankings. Each year, the Business Journal partners with Best Companies Group to identify the top companies that are setting trends for what we like to call redefining the employee experience here in Los Angeles. That group is responsible for the survey and the analysis portion of it. And here with us today to talk about what these companies went through in the process and what it means is our longstanding partner and friend of the program, Peter Burke. Peter, welcome. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks so much, Josh. And well, gosh, here we are celebrating the best places to work in Los Angeles at what we all hope is the beginning of the end of the horrible pandemic, or maybe we're at the middle of the end of the horrible pandemic. All I know is we're not there yet. But remember when we thought closing down for 2 weeks last March would take care of it? Whoops. Fast forward 17 months, and we have realized that most organizations have faced the toughest challenges they have ever faced. Most of us, including the winners tuning in today, were thrust into survival mode, enduring a seemingly endless series of gut punches, both personally and professionally. Now, through it all, many words became part of our everyday speak. Words like pivot, reinvent, new normal, Zoom fatigue, and of course, virtual. The best places to work in Los Angeles embraced and dealt with all of them. We all know it's not easy to be a best place to work in the good times, but when the tough times come, that is when the proof is in the proverbial pudding. This group of awesome employers did what they needed to do to survive, while at the same time maintaining a culture of truthful communication, long-term commitment, and honesty. There is no doubt difficult decisions had to be made by most organizations. The evidence of how good an employer is, however, is always on display during the making and execution of those tough decisions and changes. It is daunting, but you have shown us that it can be done. So today, we want to give you extra praise and shout outs for being a place where employees still feel connected and still feel committed to you as an employer. As Josh mentioned, Best Companies Group was once again the independent research partner for this designation, now in its 15th year. I remember being at the first Best Places to Work in Los Angeles event. It was awesome as it is today. They can now, Best Companies Group conducted the two-part assessment process for all who applied. 25% of their evaluation was based upon the benefits you offer and the cool things you are doing for your employees. Things like the Zoom mystery coffee break, that was new, or 3 o'clock Fridays in the summer, a traditional good one. And this was cool. Take Your Children to School Day made a comeback, which was fantastic. I think we all missed that. And I've also heard that many created their own lockdown benefits, like the Sleep In and Don't Tell Anybody Day. Now, imagine that one can really backfire on you if you're not careful, and I'm sure it has. Now, the other 75% of the evaluation was from part 2 of the assessment, the Employee Engagement Survey. To recognize workplace greatness credibly, you must ask the employees directly and anonymously what they think, and that is exactly what happened. According to most research firms, between 35 and 40% of U.S. employees are considered engaged or connected to their employer. How good are the winners tuning in compared to that 35%? Well, the answer is very good. How about 95% good? What? That is remarkable. As a result of this achievement, your brand as an employer is getting stronger. You will win the battle for talent. You'll enjoy reduced turnover, and you'll receive better qualified job candidates. All of this happening during this horrible pandemic. That is amazing. Just want you to pause for a moment and understand how much of an impact your intentional and meaningful work has had on the lives of your employees, their families, and the communities you serve. Thank you for your commitment. Now, Josh, now on to the big reason why we're here, and that's the rankings. Thanks for having me. Now back to you.
Thanks a lot, Peter. It's great to have you again. I always find the survey portion so fascinating. We get to learn a lot by just seeing the questions asked, understanding how the responses come in, and what they look like. So thank you again for being a part of this for so long, so many years. Can't wait to do it next year again. Okay, so each of the companies we are about to announce was rated in 8 different areas: leadership and planning, corporate culture and communication, role satisfaction, work environment, relationship with their supervisor, training, development, and resources, pay and benefits, and then overall engagement. So the small size companies are going to go first. They're classified as having between 15 and 49 US employees, followed by medium-sized companies with between 50 and 249 US employees. And we'll finish with the large size companies with 250 or more employees. So we're going to get started. This year, we are recognizing 33 companies in the small sized business category. First up, number 33 in the small category, Seed Health. They host virtual yoga, meditation, and Team Jeopardy. Number 32, Grobstein Teeple. They maintain their team morale through frequent Zoom meetings with games and prizes. Number 31, DBS Bank. They offer their staff 5 days off from work to celebrate their weddings. Number 30, Kim and Lee. They enjoy staying connected by watching LA Clippers games together in their party suite. Coming in at number 29, we've got Skylar. They offer flexibility in work and remote hours and a 3-day weekend once a month. That sounds wonderful. Number 28, Ad.net. They have an annual competition where team members pair up to deliver new product ideas to executives. Number 27, AdQuick. They offer monthly self-improvement reimbursement and 30 paid holidays per year. 30. Wonderful. Number 26, American Lending Center. They offer healthy, vegetarian, gluten-free food options in their offices. Coming in at 25 is Murphy O'Brien, where once a quarter they offer Wellness Day to focus on mental health. As we have heard from our panel, that's so important. Number 24 is Covington Capital Management. They have excellent benefits, profit sharing, and continue a 401k match in a day where not a lot of companies do. Number 23 is Montage Insurance Solutions. This last year, they hosted mission projects for employees to donate back to local nonprofits. Number 22 is Miracle Mile Advisors. They invest constantly in their technology to enhance communication, which we all know this past year and a half has been extremely important. Our number 21 company is Starter Company. They gift a week-long all expense paid trip for employees who've been employed at least 3 years. There's some motivation if you're sitting at 2.5. All right, number 20, Safeguard Health Inc. Safe Ride Health Inc. I apologize. Their CEO sets up regular meetings with all employees to help foster the spirit of innovation and hard work. Coming in at 19, we've got Freight Right Global Logistics, and they have Bring Your Puppy to Work Day. Number 18, Halbert Hargrove. They offer unlimited vacation with an option to use the chairman's house for 1 week in Italy. Wow, that sounds wonderful. Number 17, Magic Links. They're a philanthropic organization, and they hosted a charity event in support of Safe Place for Youth. Number 16, MK Partners. They maintain a great work from home, work-life balance, and they deliver lunches bi-weekly to their staff. Number 15, you heard from their president earlier, Connect Agency. They have floating holidays, summer Fridays, paid holiday shutdowns as well. Number 14 is iFactor. They have a monthly reimbursement for Metro riding team members. Number 13 on the list is Nathan Kimmel Company. They accommodate paid time off for any religious holidays observed. Number 12, Vivid Resourcing. They host a monthly team activity and allow pets in the office. I'm seeing a trend with the pets. Number 11 is Be Structured. They have fun team outings and increased vacation time based on your seniority with the company. Okay, we're down to the top 10. Number 10 is Ticket Manager. They have unlimited PTO and paid service days to give back to the LA community. I love that. Number 9 is Structural Focus. They do daily trivia contests and bi-weekly happy hours to stay connected. Number 8 is Northwestern Mutual West Los Angeles, where their health benefits include both birth and adoption counseling. Number 7 is Higher Cloud. They have weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual bonus plans for their employees. Number 6, Smarty. They share their challenges and ideas at weekly all-hands meetings to allow for innovation and great communication. We're down to our top 5. Number 5, Benedict Canyon Equities. Their approach of mutual respect fosters their team's authenticity and innovative ideas. Number 4, they recruit from HBCUs. They are Outer, as well as other diversity platforms to meet their diversity recruiting goals. And to join me and announce our top 3, I'd like to welcome back Brian Haggerty, Principal and Managing Director of the Los Angeles office of Marsh & McLennan Insurance Agency, our diamond sponsor, to announce and interview the top 3. Brian?
Josh, I'm just curious, if I don't have a puppy to take to that day, do they buy me a puppy? Is my question right now, as I always hear these things, which is so fun to see. But on to the number 3. So number 3, best small company is Rising Realty Partners. They provide flexible hours for parents to participate in their child's after-school activities. Their principal and CIO, Scott McMullen, is with us today. Scott, we'd like to invite you to unmute and say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your having us. And first, I want to thank the LA Business Journal and the Best Companies Group for all the work they had to do to go through this. I can't imagine how many companies you all evaluated to get 100 winners. So thank you so much for that. The credit really goes to this. The picture I'm seeing, I don't know if everybody's seeing, is our employees. You know, they really foster and protect our culture, and they make our stakeholders happy with what we do every day. What we've done in COVID really is hasn't been a huge stretch for us. We believe technology is a force multiplier. We believe in, ironically, less Zoom meetings through using technology for our people to be able to communicate via Asana, which is a task management program. And so when we had the separation of COVID, we didn't miss a beat, and it had to do with the adaptability and maturity of our workforce. So we're very grateful to have such a great workforce. Our mantra through COVID was really family first. Let's be confident but cautious. And we did some fun things. We had some happy hours, and we tried to get together when we could. And again, it was all about being whatever we could do to help support our employees. And we start every meeting, either with Zoom or in person, and we talk about good news, both personal and professional, because we believe happiness comes from being grateful, and happiness comes from random acts of kindness. So we try to do that. So again, thank you guys very much, and we're very proud to be here.
Scott, it's funny, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say you have a policy where family comes first, and that's exactly what you said in kind of saying your few words. What does that mean? What has that meant to your employees? You know, a big win or story, or you know, expand on what more are you doing? Obviously, with the, you know, that family first mentality that you've put in place at your organization.
A few examples. You know, the easy one was when kids couldn't go to school, we didn't put pressure on our people to come to the office. You know, that I think that's probably universal amongst the group that we'll be talking to today. We had a single mom who just had a baby, and she needed to come to work. So we found a space to give her some lactation opportunity to be, you know, private time in an office that we just allowed her to go to whenever she needed to, and she brought her baby to work. Another was a friend, one of my direct reports, you know, had some issues after having a baby, and his wife had some postpartum issues. And so we let him, this was before COVID, we let him take as much time as he needed to get his family stabilized. So it's not just saying, you know, take a day off after your wedding or whatever. It's really about getting into the hard stuff and the problems that people have and trying to make them better and being part of their solutions.
Scott, congratulations on number 3, and thank you.
Thank you.
So at number 2, best small company is Vaco, Los Angeles. They offer virtual yoga during the workday and provide employees with workbooks to manage stress for a calmer life. Here with us today is managing partner, Francis Moreno. And Francis, we'd like to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. I am thrilled to be, I feel like this is the Olympics of best places. And so we've come in silver. Congratulations. Thank you to the best companies. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Josh Schimmels at LA Business Journal. And especially just want to thank Team Vaco. I mean, you see the picture. We try very, 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 very hard to keep a very positive culture, a culture where diversity and inclusion matters. We are so excited to celebrate this with everyone, all of our clients and customers. We're a talent solutions firm specializing in technology and in accounting placements for both full-time and consulting. So little fun fact, you guys have been around 15 years, and Vaco in LA launched 15 years ago in January. So we've been coming up alongside this Best Places group, and we have won it 4 times at number 1 in the past. So, so that is really exciting to see our hard work pay off. We cared very deeply about our team, and to echo what others have said, you know, our mental health during a hellacious 2020 with the global pandemic. So we're super thrilled to be able to celebrate this, and to know that our Tequila Taco Tuesdays are paying off, in addition to all of the work programs that we have for diversity and inclusion. I would say trust, accountability, commitment, just making sure that you have any conflict that happens in the workplace, you just have to address it very quickly and very care, you know, with care and concern to make sure that you keep a positive culture. So thanks, LA. Thank you all, and congratulations to Team Vaco. You guys did it. We got the silver award.
Francis, before you sign off and mute yourself. So, I mean, obviously 15 years, you had mentioned that when we were in kind of behind the scenes, batting almost 300, you know, 30% 300 for 4 out of 15 years of wearing number 1. You know, there's probably a lot of reasons in terms of why Vaco is a great place to work. And obviously tequila and tacos is a great one to float to the top. But what's your favorite part?
I would say the retention of our team, the passion, just building teams of diverse people that have stayed. I mean, we are 15 years old, and we have consultants working with us all 15 years. We have clients that have stayed with us all 15 years. And I just want to take my hat off to the team for powering through a really difficult time. We have not been in the office. We've been largely remote, but we still have taken great care to be together, you know, whether it's outside events. Right now I have a team of about 8 people in our permanent placement group in a backyard watching this event. So shout out to you here today. But I just think the people, what gets me up every day is the passion to place great people to work. And, you know, we're in it with and for them. So it's not about us, it's about serving the community. And the only reason we exist is to serve those unmet needs of the community. We find work for people every day and it's so satisfying. So that's my favorite. That's my very favorite thing. So congratulations.
Francis, congratulations to you and thank you. So without further ado, the #1 best place to work in the small business category is Cardant Design. They host annual company trips. The company travels together to unwind and enhance a shared collaborative culture. Their president, Rick Gilday, has joined us. Rick, we invite you to unmute and congratulations.
And can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, great. Well, I have to thank the people behind me. They are the best group I've ever been able to work with. And one of the greatest things about all of us, we have the same belief. You know, we care about each other and we help each other, respect each other. And with the diverse projects we have, the talent is unbelievable. And the support each other and everyone gives each other is just like amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You know, during the last year, it's been super busy. I mean, one of our best years ever. And to deliver great quality service and designs to a wide variety of companies across the US. I mean, it takes teamwork. It takes commitment and communication. And I just can't thank everyone enough. And I mean, honored. We are just extremely honored to be recognized by the Los Angeles Business Journal. And I love the fact that all of the responses are confidential. And, you know, I don't know what anyone says about things. And, you know, I'm just grateful that they like working here.
Well, Rick, they obviously do because you were runner-up last year at #2. So you're obviously doing something right. What do you think it was? What initiatives, actions, or programs did you put in place, or things that maybe changed specifically that contributed to you to getting #1 this year?
Well, I care about everybody. And last year I used the word love, and, you know, in a careful way, I say we all love each other. And you take that emotion and put it to work. I mean, it obviously makes your life better. And, you know, that's really the most important thing, you know, taking care of people. I mean, last year we had 3 families have babies, and, you know, we let them do anything they needed to do. And we help everyone in just about anything they ask for, we take care of. We have flexibility to work at home, work here. We have quite a large office, and most people have enormous amount of space and enough room to feel comfortable here at work. We instituted work from home Fridays, and we have a 4.5-day week. So we only work half a day Friday, but we're working half days at home. And that was one of the benefits that everybody really appreciates. It's just,
That's great.
you know, it's just the respect and the teamwork and the emotions about each other. Most of the time we'll all have lunch together. We do provide pretty much a wide variety of food to eat every day. So I wouldn't say we pay for everybody's lunch, because they sometimes bring their own, or they rather not eat what we have in our pantry. But you know, so we're here together, and it's fun. It's fun, and we've had some really great projects. And one of the things, a lot of the staff work on homeless facilities. So they're designing a place to live for those that don't have a home. And so there's a great example of, gee, we're grateful for what we have, and it really gets it balanced against those that don't have anything. And I think that spirit goes through even you know, some of the most complicated projects. But I think the reason this is a great place to work is, you know, we all care about each other, and I love working here. You know, I'm here every day, and, you know, I do my jobs just like everyone else, and we're all on an even level. Nobody's somebody else's boss. They are their own boss, and they're in charge of what they deliver.
That's great. Rick, congratulations to you and your team. And look forward to seeing you potentially on the panel next year, hopefully in person.
Yeah, I hope so. Yes. Well, somebody else that's more articulate than me could be on the panel.
I think we're all interested to see what else you guys are doing, because it's definitely a family affair there. So thank you and congratulations to everybody and your team.
Thanks very much. We really are appreciative.
Thanks, Rick. So without further ado, I'll be doing a countdown for the medium-sized companies, and there are 35 companies in this category. Starting with number 35, Bank of Southern California. Their culture puts employee engagement first, creating a positive environment. At number 34, Wound Care Advantage. They have a social and wellness committee that plans events throughout the year. At number 33, Golden Star Technology Incorporated. They host a community service day plus monthly community service events. At number 32, Pacific Advisors. They have an education reimbursement program for a variety of designations and degrees. At number 31, the Liberty Company Insurance Brokers. They host a meditation and sound bath sessions. At number 30, Galar. They offer discounts on health and wellness services such as fitness clubs memberships and massage. At number 29, Frankfurt, Kunit, Klein, and Sells, PNC. They have a parent initiative that helps parents work remotely efficiently and achieve better work-life balance. At number 28, Howard Building Company. They close an hour early every Friday. At number 27, Tiger Connect. They have a wellness reimbursement up to $500 annually to help support health and wellness. Number 26, Sheridan Group. They celebrate and maintain their culture and virtual cooking classes, happy hours, and game days. At number 25, Signature Estate and Investment Advisors. They have flexible time off for child or pet care and a playroom at the office. At number 24, Northwestern Mutual Los Angeles. Their healthcare coverage includes mental health services and coverage for physical limitations. Number 23, TK1SC. They provide breakfast to their teams and have half days on Fridays. Number 22, Rains Feldman. Their D&I committee works diligently on hiring and retaining diverse employees and creating an inclusive culture. At number 21, Norman and Associates. Their leadership provides flexibility and encourages walks and exercise throughout the workday. Number 20, Ergo Baby. They have monthly wellness challenges. At number 19, Carlin, Gira, and Lesotho. They have fully covered employee health insurance with multiple plan options. At number 28, Disco. They offer an unlimited PTO. Number 27, Travel Store. Employees get their birthday off as a paid holiday. Number 16, Steno. In the last year, almost 20% of the employees have been promoted within. At number 15, the Goatsman Group. They encourage extended time off between projects and focus heavily on mentorship. At number 14, Paramount Global Incorporated. They provide sensitivity training and access to mental health first aid training. At number 13, Greenberg Glusker, LLP. All attorneys are invited to an all-inclusive weekend-long retreat in Ojai Valley. At number 12, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, Information Services Department. Their employees have access to virtual therapy dogs. At number 11, Burnham Benefit Insurance Services. They provide 15 hours paid work time for volunteering along with a charitable match. At number 10, Child 360. They host Popcorn Fridays. Number 9, Hop Skip Drive. They have generous employee stock option plan to allow all employees to participate as owners. Number 8, Miro. They cover membership fees to the membership-based primary care practice, One Medical. Number 7, Automotive Credit Corporation. They host virtual holiday party, monthly birthday celebrations, and costume contests. At number 6, Morley Builders. They proactively employ and recruit former servicewomen and servicemen and look to diverse universities for recruitment. Number 5, Bolton. They have growth-based bonus initiatives and celebratory awards such as their upcoming paid trip to Hawaii. Number 4, VHA. They provide free mental health workshops, paid leave for new parents, wedding time off, and paid jury duty. At this point, I'll hand it back off to Josh so I can get a sip of water and let him announce the top 3.
Thanks, Brian. And you know what, Francis, I don't know why we didn't think of the Olympic analogy. So I'm going to just go ahead and move to that right now. In number 3 spot with the bronze award, we have BAMCO. They are committed to giving back to charitable causes and even have a charitable match program. I'd like to welcome back SVP of Strategic Growth, Josh White, to say a few words. Welcome back, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Good to see you again. Good to be back here. This is neat. It's just like this never stops being fun and exciting and gratifying to get the recognition for having constructed a workplace where people love what they do and they love where they're at. And I think we take a lot of pride in BAMCO being a very different place and taking a very different approach. And our approach has a lot less to do with stuff and perks and sort of material benefits. And we try to get inside people's souls, which maybe sounds a little high-minded, but it works for us. I mean, our focus is on human flourishing. And the way we do that is we don't coddle people. We challenge them and we ask them an important question, which is, what kind of person do you want to be in this world? And then we try to show them a path where it's possible to be that kind of person. And we try to always talk about a belief in the possible. If there's a thing that you want to do, be, have, or create in this world, it is within the realm of possibility for you to do that. And you yourself have to do the work to get there. And we'll be there to support you. We'll be there to encourage you. We'll believe in your vision, and we'll call you out on your BS when you're falling short. And that's the kind of place we are. And it's special that in this day and age that we have a team of folks who resonate with that message, who are attracted to it, and are making progress and taking real action in their lives, in their communities, in their families, to be the best versions of themselves they can be. And I think we play an important part in encouraging people to do that. So I think that's what we do. I'm really pretty eager to share that with everyone else, and appreciate the LA Business Journal for recognizing us this year.
Yeah, congratulations again on making the top three again in back-to-back years, and in particular during the times that you did it in. You've had a chance also to hear from other panelists, and you've heard some snippets about what some other companies are doing. I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here. What's one thing that you've heard or learned today that from another company that you'll take back with you to your team?
I mean, I'm immediately going to go advocate for Puppy Day. I mean, I feel like that's a must-have for any company. I got a puppy this year. I got Buddy the dog in September, and he's dramatically changed the quality of my experience. So it's a little bit cheeky, but I thought that was really cool. But I think the truth is, like, any great culture has to be authentic to itself, right? So the thing that works for BAMCO, that makes us, works for us because it's who we are. We're super competitive. We're really driven, pretty earnest, and kind of tough on ourselves, right? And so we like people who've got some thick skin, right? Who when you're direct with them, when you engage them with radical candor, they don't shy away and they don't fade, but they lean into it. And so to me, it's more about being true to who we are and attracting the kind of people that resonate with that. But I think we've heard a lot of great examples of a lot of people doing a lot of great things, and I think they work because they're true to who those people are and who their companies are. And I would encourage everyone to just be as authentic as you could possibly be, because people can tell the difference.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Josh. Continue doing all the great work that you're doing. It certainly seems to work for the culture there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, we are on to our silver award. In the number 2 spot, it's Dermavant Sciences, Inc. They provide monthly Grubhub funds for each employee to take the night off from cooking and also to help support local businesses. I'd like to invite CEO Todd Zavodnik to unmute and say a few words. Welcome, Todd.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me, and thanks to the Business Journal for the recognition. It's an honor to be amongst these companies today. Again, for those of you that don't know Dermavant, I like what Josh said. It's the authenticity that we have at Dermavant. I've led the organization for 3 years, and it really is a culture of unity and we spread across really the United States and international and Switzerland. And as a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company that is within 8 months of actually launching our transformational molecule tapinarof, which will address psoriasis and atopic dermatitis in a non-steroidal way. We have men and women in this company that are special. I basically say on our side that It really feels like Thanksgiving dinner every day is the analogy we use, our values, our heart, mind, and soul. And we really are looking at extremely high IQ and very strong EQ individuals with no silos, and really our ability just to get it done. And I do love the fact that we have that strong culture, which we know trumps strategy. And we're able to have a speak up culture, which during this pandemic was important. So, you know, for us, as we said, we did some things for the employees, whether it was the Grubhub or sending masks for them and their family members. But I think it was just the ability to be authentic again, as I've heard before, and really sincere and be there, you know, with a heart each and every day, as we were finishing a phase 3 trial, as well as submitting, you know, a 50 gigabyte file to the FDA to get this drug to market. So I'm extremely proud of all of the employees. I love each and every one of them. I've been involved in hiring each and every one of them. And we do have something really special here. So thank you very much to the Los Angeles Business Journal.
Well, congratulations, Todd. I'm going to ask you, similar to what we heard from Scott earlier at Rising, I learned that you have what's called family fun days, where you encourage your teams to focus on their families. How has an initiative like that helped your teams, and what have you seen from it? And what have you heard from your team?
Well, you know, look, at the end of the day, you know, the days of the 9 to 5s are gone. And I think when you hire, again, as I said earlier, high IQ and EQ individuals that simply get the job done, you know, you need to basically have that balance. If we were at a point in time where this world faced a situation we've never faced before, and compassion and empathy has to come through. You know, it's patients first for us medically as a pharmaceutical company. But for me, it's the employees first. And, you know, a lot of them have multiple children going through situations they've never faced before. We had 5 or 6 newborns in the organization. And I think you get more out of it by showing your heart and listening and being authentic and pure than simply driving the objective, which you know they're going to get. You know, with that IQ they have, you know you're going to land there. Sometimes it's important to take that step back.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's a great reminder for all of us. Congratulations on the silver.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's time for our gold medal, our #1 best place to work in the medium-sized category. Congratulations to Mission Cloud Services. They provide diversity training, employee assistance programs, internships, and have flexible work hours. Carrie Burnett Howell, their manager of talent development, is here with us today. Carrie, we invite you to say a few words. Welcome.
Hi, this is so exciting. We won. This is so cool. I'm so tickled. This is amazing. We are so stoked to be here. We're so stoked that, you know, clearly our employees are really, really happy. We love our team. So, you know, we, like everybody else, the world kind of blew up last year, and we, you know, had to adapt to see how can we still be totally focused on our team. So we, you know, we're an AWS Premier Partner. We're a provider of cloud services. Our motto is to reinvent the world through cloud services, which means for our customers and our business, but it's also really for our team. We can provide a life and a way of being and a way of working that is totally unique and works really well for our team. So, you know, we did the whole Zoom happy hours, all that good stuff. But we also tried to mix it up with things like show and tell over Slack. You know, we were about 60% remote before coronavirus, and then we went completely remote afterwards. Now everybody works from home. And of course, our huge first question was like, well, how do we ensure that our team stays our team and we all stay really close? So making sure we're super active on Slack. We have constant little things like show and tell, you know, happy hours, things like that. We also shifted, because we're not in an office anymore, we shifted to add a flexible stipend to our employees. We just pop it right on their salary, and that is for home office. Like, make sure your internet's good, make sure you're comfortable, make sure you feel like, you know, totally settled there and you can work, you know, have the optimum work environment. We do use Office Vibe to track our employees and like figure out like what are they thinking about, how are they feeling, and we get that feedback about once a month, and so we're able to shift really, really quickly. So it's like, okay, you know, people are not feeling engaged, or they're not feeling that they're getting enough gratitude or kudos. Well, we can take care of that straight away. And then, of course, the other thing that happened in 2020 was, the murder of George Floyd and all of the protests and things like that. And so we discussed that super deeply as a company. That was, something that really rocked our world. And we had public chats about it that our CEO actually led. We had a Be Inclusive Slack channel where people could really openly discuss what was going on. We also, really put a lot more effort. We kind of really examine, what are we doing? Are we true to our value of being inclusive? Are we true to our values of creating a really diverse company? So we revamped our recruiting process. We added, safety valves in there to make sure that we were having a diverse recruiting process. We also put a lot more effort into or a lot more financing into our employee resource group. So we have an overall resource group called the Values Committee, which make sure we are true to our values. But we also have our Wisdom, our women's group. We have BAM, Black Admission. We have People of Color group. We just started an LGBTQ group. So we really want to make sure that everyone felt included and involved in mission. And then, of course, you mentioned our internships. We do have an evolution program. And so we want to make sure not only is our team growing and doing everything that they can, we want to give back to our community. And we're in an industry that is totally new. These jobs did not exist 20 years ago. So we need to, in a lot of ways, build our workforce. So we have a commitment to cloud literacy, which means we actually sponsor students to take AWS certification exams, to study for AWS, and then we try to bring them on as interns and hopefully hire them as full-time and join the Mission family. So yeah, it's a cool place to work.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been a very impactful year. That seems like a really good word for Mission and your culture. Quick question before I let you go. I read that you have unlimited time off and that you give generous health benefits. You give stipends, you have incentives for employees. How do those things all kind of work together in addition to the changes that you made to the culture of the company? How does that all fit?
So yeah, we've always had unlimited PTO, and we do require people to use it. We don't want it to be just sort of like one of those fake benefits. So like we actually track every 6 months, you must take a week off. We don't want people to keep working and to burn out. After coronavirus and everything, we sort of amped it up by creating a distributed team commitment. And so that not only includes like PTO, health benefits, things like that, but also like sort of an extreme understanding that like people's lives are going to be messy right now, and they're going to be messy for a long time. Like kids are going to scream in the background, dogs are going to be barking, life is going to be weird. You're often going to have to probably cancel meetings at the last minute because your kid's daycare got shut down because of coronavirus. Like things are going to be a lot different than they were. So we sort of doubled down on our commitment to health, and we also knew that people's mental health would be really at risk at this time. So we brought in a psychologist to give a few talks to recognize signs of burnout, sign of stress, signs of PTSD. Actually, we have free consultations with her. So it was really just an expansion of things that we already had, but we recognize like these are going to be what are valuable going forward.
Well, thank you so much, Carrie. Congratulations. I think we can all relate to, just our teams getting to know us on a different level. You mentioned dogs and children, and that's just the reality. You said sometimes it's going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect every day. That's just the reality of the situation that we're all in. I've gotten to know many of my team's dogs and their names and exactly what bark sounds that each one of them make. So I can call them out on our Zoom meetings. And, similarly, they've all gotten to know my daughters quite well when they're poking at me on a Zoom call because they need help on their online school or something to that effect. So we all adapt. Congratulations on the gold medal in the middle-sized category.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to continue to our final group, which is the large size category. There are 32 companies. Coming in at number 32 is Roth Staffing Companies. They partner with local and state unemployment offices for talent sourcing. Number 31 is Shama Design and Construction. They focus on management training and also host a paid volunteer day. I love that. Number 30 is PCL Construction. They recruit from HBCUs, the military, and programs that support those with mental or physical limitations. Number 29, Harbor Distributing. Each employee is a development plan created to foster their growth and career aspirations. Number 28, CBIZ MHM. Their program called Women's Advantage focuses on their female colleagues' development through mentorship. Number 27, Prodigy. They have an online peer-to-peer recognition program. Number 26, Centerfield Media. They have a 2-week office closure at the end of every year to rest and regroup. I love that. Number 25 is GoodRx. Every month, the company shuts down for 1 day to support mental health. That seems to be a really important recurring theme this year. Number 24, HKS Architects. They reimburse for licensing exams, conferences, industry events, and educational courses. Number 23, Pango Group. People over profits has been their motto, and they also allow pets in the office. Number 22, Allen Lund Company. Employees have a floating holiday for community service. Number 21, Henderson Engineers. Their wellness program supports physical, financial, social, and community essentials. Coming in at number 20 is CarParts.com. They've hosted a series of virtual team bonding events that have kept them connected even while apart. Number 19, HOK. They deliver team lunches and dinners for virtual get-togethers and celebrations. Number 18, Constanji, Brooks, Smith, and Profit. Employees can devote up to 4 hours each month of paid time to volunteer at local organizations. Number 17, HGA. They offer tuition reimbursement. That's another benefit that we've seen come back this last year. Number 16 is Slalom. They are dedicated to fostering ethnic and cultural diversity through celebration and education. Number 15 is Cressa Los Angeles. They send their employees to Disneyland for a day. Number 14 is CW Driver Companies. They host many corporate events throughout the year, including annual regional golf tournaments. Number 13, Smith Group. They provide diversity training, accommodations, and scholarships as well. Number 12, Aya Healthcare. They provide incentive trips to encourage employees to meet their goals. At number 11 is P2S Inc. They've got flexible hours based on employees' needs and also do half-day Fridays. That's come up a few times. All right, we're in the top 10. Swinnerton. They are committed to contracting with minority, women, small, and disabled veteran businesses on construction projects. Number 9 is Bulk Altar. They provide the team with a monthly birthday and anniversary celebration and weekly breakfast. Number 8, Protivity. They extended their parental leave program up to 10 weeks of paid leave for the birth or adoption of a child. Number 7 is Clune Construction. Employees get the week off between Christmas and New Year's after 5 years of employment. Number 6 is Ryan. Their CEO holds regular conference calls with the company to provide updates and also host Q&A sessions in order to foster open communication. We're in the top 5. Number 5, Alston and Bird. They do daily 10-minute gatherings to discuss professional development and firm-wide initiatives. And number 4 is W.E. O'Neill Construction Company. They provide reimbursement for fitness memberships, marathons, triathlons, sport league fees, weight loss programs, and stop smoking aids. And I'm going to welcome Brian Haggerty back to bring it home with the top 3 companies in the large size category. Welcome back, Brian.
Thanks, Josh. Number 3 in the large size category for best places to work is Flowcast Incorporated. They cover 100% of the premium on your healthcare plans for employees and host monthly CEO office hours and group lunches. I'd love to welcome Addie Tedeschi Heath, their Senior Director of Human Resources, who is here with us today. Addie, we'd like to invite you to say a few words. Addie, if you're on mute.
Oh, there we go. I think I was muted.
There you go.
Okay, great. Oh, this is awesome news. Thank you so much. Our CEO couldn't make it today, so I'm accepting the award on his behalf. But as head of HR, this is particularly a proud moment for me just because of all the hard work that we've done over the last year. We were, I think, 3rd place in the medium category last year, so it's really nice for us to retain that spot and move into the large size category. But, you know, the award is just a testament to how hard we work to create a collaborative and open environment for our employees. We really try to hire the best talent and put them in the best places in the company so that they can not only help move the company forward, but also be successful themselves. And HR, you know, really cares about feedback. So we meet with all of our new hires at important milestones after their hire date. We ask for anonymous feedback outside of the LA Business Journal survey, and we actually listen and make changes based on what our employees say to us. And one example is, during the pandemic, a lot of people were kind of hesitant to want to return to the office. And so we took that feedback and created an employee choice policy that basically any employee in the company can choose to be hybrid or remote. And we don't really care where they work as long as, they're doing good work. So we're putting the choice back in employees' hands. And, that came directly from a lot of feedback from our employees from anonymous surveys, our HR check-ins. And really just, they built a lot of autonomy and trust over the last year. And we wanted to keep that and not, kind of force anyone to go back to an office and let them choose a working style that works the best for them, whatever that may mean. And it's just, it's really great for me to be in a position to field feedback like that and actually implement positive change. But yeah, our co-founders have really done a great job of setting such a transparent environment. Our CEO runs monthly company meetings where he will literally show like the board deck and financials that he presents to our board. We just recently closed $110 million round of funding. And that's obviously because we've done such a great job over the last year. And so we're hiring like crazy. If anyone wants to come work for us, we're hiring all over the US. And yeah, just really proud of our employees. And so thank you to anyone who's listening that works at Flowcast. It's been an incredible year and all your hard work's paid off. And a special thanks to our three co-founders, Mike Whitmire, Chris Ludi, and Colin Zansher for creating Flowcast in the first place and just making it such a great place to work where we can thrive and succeed and just keep making lists like this. I'm really happy.
Addie, congratulations. I'd have to say it's a great feat to be in the medium category in the top 3 and then make the leap during COVID to the large category. Talk to me a little bit about your growth and how that's, with you being in HR, how that changed a little bit in terms of, obviously with size comes different responsibilities and a different, challenges. What have you guys done? What's been the success that's driven this during, what other people, others have not been thriving in?
Yeah, so we're really lucky to, we're a software company, we're SaaS, software as a service, and we develop software for accountants that help them close the books and automate workflows. And accountants, I think, were hit pretty hard during the pandemic, where they usually are folks that work in an office, and when they had to go remote, they needed to rely on a lot of softwares to help them work collaboratively in a remote environment. And so we saw a lot of people who had either not been interested in Flowcast or never heard of closed management software or what we do before reaching out to us. And so we exceeded our goals last year, our sales revenue, which was really great, and put us in a good position for the end of last year to build out a recruiting function and just hit the ground running and hire like crazy. We also expanded to London, which is really cool. So we actually got the opportunity to open an office out there, and we have about 10 employees. It's been a lot of work for me, but it's all so positive, and so it's just worth it. And I've gotten to add to my team, which has been really great. And we've seen a lot of internal promotions, people growing with the company, folks that have a lot of subject matter expertise that started like 3, 4, 5 years ago that are now in leadership positions. And so we have a really good retention rate of employees that want to stay and want to build something with us. So it's been really cool, but yeah, it's definitely a wild ride in the last year.
Sounds like it. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And continued success, obviously.
Thank you.
Going on to number 2 for best places to work is Prologis. Their benefits include fertility assistance, adoption, care for children, elderly, and mental health needs. Rob Antrobias, their Senior VP, Marketing Officer in Los Angeles, is here with us today. Rob, we'd love to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an honor to be recognized, especially in a year like really no other that any of us have experienced. It obviously starts with all the people and the culture of Prologis. For a number of years, we've been shifting towards a more customer-centric approach and hiring those that share the vision. And where that really came to light during COVID was those same people who shared the vision of servicing our customers and helping them with their pain points turned right around and started helping each other within the company because obviously everyone had different pain points that COVID had negative effects on their families, their support groups, et cetera. And so seeing the team come together as one was great, and very proud of them for that. A big thanks goes out to our IT department. Prologis' tagline is ahead of what's next. And well before COVID hit, our IT department was taking steps to make sure our entire workforce was going to be able to be more mobile and more efficient by providing us hardware and software that we would need. We were very early adopters of Zoom and Salesforce years ago, way before COVID was even a word. And it really paid dividends because when COVID hit and the stay-at-home orders were implemented, we found ourselves actually working pretty well right away. We were not caught empty-handed, and our teams were able to operate at a very high level, even with all the restrictions placed upon all of us during COVID. And finally, a big thanks to our HR department. You know, we're a global company, but our HR department recognized that different regions and different groups had different restrictions during COVID. And we all know here in Los Angeles, we were probably one of the hardest hit areas, and we had, compared to our friends across the country, some of the most restrictive situations across the country. Our HR teams provided us the flexibility we needed to operate, but also recognize that different teammates had many other issues that came from COVID, family support, things like that. And so a big kudos to our HR department for recognizing that and providing us the flexibility to thrive. And so once again, thanks to the Los Angeles Business Journal, we're very proud to be in this category and very proud to get the silver medal this year. So thank you.
You got to upgrade yourself there. You're one more step on the podium. Rob, one more thing before I let you go. I know philanthropy is important at Prologis. Can you just tell us briefly about the Prologis Foundation?
Sure. No, I appreciate that question because it is very important to us, and the foundation is amazing. Being a global company, if you hear about a disaster across the globe, anywhere, you know, Prologis operating in 19 countries, odds are we have a facility nearby. And so many global disasters, earthquakes, floods you've heard of, the Prologis Foundation has stepped up quickly, whether it be offering our own facilities to help out with or making sizable donations to the entities that are helping out, you know, the Red Cross, things like that. Locally, we have, and across the country, we have a program called Space for Good, and we provide warehouse space, which is what we do. We provide the warehouse space for free to many organizations, and a very recent specific example, the Los Angeles Food Bank was in need of extra warehouse space here in Los Angeles. We all know what's going on with the homeless and the needs of many. And so we were there to help them with some free warehouse space to store food and other things like that for their operation. And finally, the same foundation backs us with what we call our Community Workforce Initiative. In major cities across the US, we identify companies that are helping the communities. So here in Los Angeles, we are the name sponsor of a program called EXP, and they are a nonprofit organization that match up interns with companies that operate in our buildings. And it's been a fantastic program, and we're proud to be the name sponsor of that, thanks to the Prologis Foundation.
Rob, that's great. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, and congratulations on the silver, as you said. All right, for the, let's drum roll, the #1 best place to work in large company size category for the second year in a row, which is pretty incredible, West Monroe. They have a new summer leave policy, focus on diversity and inclusion through resource groups, and facilitate listening sessions and free subscription to Headspace. Obviously, you had the pleasure of meeting her on the panel discussion prior to the announcement of the rankings and awards. So I would like to welcome back, obviously, Tanya, partner, healthcare and life sciences practice, to say a few words. Tanya, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Brian. I'm so excited. This is just wonderful news. I do have to correct you, though. It's actually not our second time in a row winning. It's actually this is going to be our 5th win for #1 in the best places. So thank you very much for that. And it's such a pleasure to be among this wonderful company with all of the names and the companies that have already been named. And thank you again to the LA Business Journal for this honor. I am speaking on behalf of our lovely fearless leader, Ken Sigman, who couldn't be here today. But as a newer partner to the West Monroe company and to the Los Angeles office, it's just a thrill to be here and to represent West Monroe. It's a wonderful company, and it's a testament to the people first culture and the collaborative nature of our company, and what we're doing here to build out the next generation of leaders. So I'm just thrilled to accept this on behalf of the company.
All right, so I will scold Josh for not mentioning 5 years, a 5-time award winner, but understanding back-to-back years, what's the secret sauce? I mean, you've gotten such an opportunity on the panel to talk about what you guys are doing. Is there anything that we didn't get to hear?
I think what is the secret sauce is the people here genuinely love each other. They really take time to build those relationships, similar to what Josh said before around being authentic and really being able to bring yourself to everything that you do. We've got people who are deeply passionate about what they do. They're intelligent and they know how to connect. And again, like the culture that we've built here is really the secret sauce. It's something that people know that there's a place where they can be their authentic self, but still be able to help deliver excellent value for our clients and have fun doing it. And the picture you see behind is actually from an event we hosted last week, where it was a virtual event across all of the offices for our interns that we hosted this past summer. And you can see that everyone was having a great time. And it's really the secret sauce of work hard, play hard, and bringing it all together.
Tanya, congratulations. Thank you again for joining the panel, and maybe back to back three-peat going into 2022. You never know.
And hopefully we'll be able to be in person to next year too. So
God willing. Josh, I will hand it back to you, but this is one of my favorite events, and we couldn't be more excited as an organization to be a part of it. Congratulations to all the winners. It's incredible what you're doing. And it's always exciting to see what everybody and how they're the little things that they do from a culture aspect to keep their employees engaged. So thank you. It's such an honor to host this event.
Well, thank you so much to all of our sponsors. I want to thank our panelists for the great conversation today. Thank you, Brian, great friend of the Business Journal. We appreciate everything that you and Marsh McLennan Insurance Agency does to continue to support programs like this throughout the year. To the 100 companies, congratulations to each and every one of you. Your teams took the time to tell your company's story through the survey process. And because of their feedback, you've made this elite list. We appreciate all the insight from our panelists in the top 3 companies in each category from last year. I know personally that your remarks and the actionable takeaways that you help provide to us are going to be helpful to every organization that's watched today and every organization that's going to watch the recorded version of this. I want to remind all of you that Monday's print and digital versions of the LA Business Journal are going to highlight this event so you can read even more about all of our companies. As I mentioned, there will be a recorded version of this in its entirety available on labusinessjournal.com. We look forward to hosting you again next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, in person, which means we're in a much healthier state. So until then, thank you all. Please continue to be healthy, and we look forward to hosting you soon. Thank you.